Welcome to Retro Scale Modelling. This is part 4 of the Star Wars AT-ST Skywalker build. Now in the previous parts I started with the legs, the base, then moved on to the head in part 3, and I did a little bit of weathering and finishing off the head on part 3. In part 4 I'm going to be mainly concentrating on the diorama and a little bit on the actual main model itself. So let's get into the build. So in part 3 I completed the head, and here was the blaster point that I done, and we've got legs now. So all I'm going to do here is push this on. It's quite tight, and it hopefully should sit. Yeah, it's not brilliant, but it'll sit. So it'd be better if I'd done that to camera, really. So there it is there. Depending on what position, remember I can move the legs up and down if I want, move the body a little bit into the position I like. But I kind of like that position. Obviously I can set this onto the base. Yeah. Like that. Now, I was in two minds whether to use the base on the diorama, but then I had a thought last night. I will use the base because if I have to move it around and clean it, I can just pop this off and get it done. So I won't glue the feet onto you. So I'll just pop that to one side, and I'll make a more detailed start on the diorama now. So I've got the base. Remember that I painted on video 1. You can see the texture look there, all ripply and that. I do love that effect. And if you remember, that was just by stabbing the paint in, not doing much else. So the base plate for the walker, I'll put that there. Take the walker, put it on. I'll get my molds and put them on. Go there. So now just build them up a bit. Right, the initial idea was to do it like the Return of the Jedi when the two logs come in smashing the side. But I didn't think this through properly because it would have to be that height. And I don't like that height for the entire thing. It would just mask all this area. So I won't do that. I'll build it up as a forest bay valley. Here, change it around slightly. So I'm just going to move these rocks off. It will change again, no doubt. Okay, I'm taking some super glue, and first of all, I'm folding it up like this, because I don't want this to move so much in the position I already had it. And that was around there. Same again with the rocks, quite a lot of glue. So that's them all glued up and in position. I'm just going to put a lump of plasticine here to protect the majority of the place where the feet go. Now, time to paint. Now, if I was doing this in rock or stone for a harsh bank or something like that, I'd be painting it in all various different colours of rock and stone and things like that. But this is actually only acting as like a mound for a foresty area. So I'm just painting it brown. So just roughly painting this like I did with the base. So onto the green now, and just mixing the green in. When you're doing this, make sure you've got an old brush because it can destroy your brush. So I've just gone outside, and lucky enough that I live near some woods, and I've just picked up some bits of rotten veg, so bits of dry, dead leaves, twigs and so forth. Now it's better to do this in the autumn. If you ever get the chance in the autumn, just go out, take loads of dead leaves and things, and then bring them indoors, get them in a container just in case there's any bugs in there, and let them all dry out. So what I'm doing now, I'm just cutting these all down, and this is going to be my foliage to cover the bottom. I've cut up all the foliage that is there, separated big bits from little bits. And what I'm going to do now is just take some glue, pour that over, take my brush, I'm just going to spread it around, and then taking clumps of the dead leaves and whatever, some big bits, and just throwing them in. Now I'm going to pay particular attention at the base that the kit came with, because I've got to disguise that step. I'm just pressing it down as I do it. Now obviously a lot of this will fall off, like the top parts, but that's okay as long as I've got a bottom coverage, and that's what I'm looking for. So that's that bit done. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a forest floor. Just a little bit of glue on top, like that. Now of course this glue dries clear, and once I've done that, I've got some bits of dirt here, fine powder dirt. These are ground up last year, and it's basically this stuff just all ground up. I put them in a grounder like you would a peppercorn, but I'm just covering up where you would have seen the glue. Well, you may be wondering, well, why did he paint the base? So he's covering it all on that, because bits will come off and patches will be left, and the walker will sit in it like that. Okay, what I've done is, still waiting on it to dry, but I'm ploughing ahead. I put in some little bits of stick here, bits of twig, and I've built it up to be a bit of a barrier. So I may as well just add another one on here. Yeah. And there's a little gap there. So I thought, I made up the Chewbacca, I've not painted them yet. I thought I'll put him right in there because it fits perfectly. I shall cover him with a little bit of foliage so he's camouflaged. I was going to use these for the representing the logs coming in and destroying the Scout Walker, so they'd be coming in like that to destroy them. But as I said, it would be too tall. So what I'm going to do instead, I think, is there was another scene when the Scout Walker was attacked by Ewoks, and they let loose loads of logs that came tumbling down to trip the thing up. If anyone remembers that. It's quite a funny moment, just the legs go and very comical. So I thought, well, I'll just use these to make it look like an Ewok had built them. And the beauty about taking this stuff from the garden or a forest, whatever you got to hand, it's authentic, it looks real because they are real. There we go, so I'll just build this up. And that looks like the log pile ready to go down and destroy the Scout Walker. Okay, what I've done now is I've taken some twigs, and you see I put them up right here, and I'm going to make trees out of these. Now I do have the plastic trees, which I love, these things here, but and they're really good. They turn into excellent trees. I will be using them, but they can either be for trees or bushes or whatever. But I thought to authenticate case I'm going to put in some actual twigs. Now I've got to put on branches on these. So I'm just going to glue bits of twig and that or on them to create sort of prongs like that. So I'll just take the first one out. These are not they're not glued or attached or anything. I'm just going to put a little bit of super glue down. So I'll just slip that in there. Okay, right. I've managed. Just bring that in camera a bit. I managed to put some little twigs on the branch I'm going to do, so I'll cover that in foliage. But while that's all set, I'm going to take these plastic tree things and paint them. Now, I'm painting them in Umbro 110. I think this is a wooden colour for Umbro, and for me it's the best wooden colour Umbro out there. So that's the Umbro wood colour on, and now I'm putting on Revel 382, and this is wood brown, and I'm just dotting this around to give it a contrast wood colour. So I'm starting with Chewbacca, and this is X9 brown, and this will be all over. So that's Revel 382 wood brown. Chewbacca's face is a lot lighter than his body. Yeah, almost to a certain degree. I'm feeling happy with that. I mean, I'm no figure painter, so I'll do the eyes now, and that's going to be black. That's 302 semi-gloss black, and I'll use the old matchstick trick. So a bit of paint on a matchstick. Putting too much, I'm going to have to paint into them now. Looks like a manga character at the moment. Back to the wood brown and see if I can cut in that black I've just put in. I know the concept behind figure painting, especially the eyes, that's where most people struggle. But I'm just not very good at it. Now that'll do. I mean, I don't know whether I've got it on hand, I can show you. This was my attempt at a figure. If you look at the eyes look rather serious. Bend it down a bit. That's meant to be a Scotch guard from the Napoleonic Wars. But I don't know, it's not very good. So anyway, I did digress. Carry on. Probably can't make it out on the camera, but I'll take a photo of it and put it at the end of the video so that you can see it anyway. So I'm going to use X32, and that's a titanium silver, because I don't want a bright silver colour or a dark steel colour. So I think the titanium is a good match in between. So I'll paint in the silver parts first, and then go down into the leather colour. So onto the leather now, and this is Revel 84, and it's leather brown, and this is for the bungalow. I keep on saying bandana, but it's not a bandana, it's a bungalow. So I'm just doing like a line of leather up the middle where I painted the silver. Hopefully that'll look like the bungalow. It does to a certain extent. It's not fantastic, to be actually honest with you. It's got a little leather pouch here. Yeah, it's okay, it's not brilliant. So that's it there. So you can see it in the light. Back to the main diorama. Taking the twigs, that's fairly settled now, that's strong. So So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue these in a position. I was going to put foliage onto them before putting them on, but I thought for these natural bits are good, I'm just going to put them on first. So some I'm going to leave natural, as in just bare wood. Others I'm going to put some sort of coverage on them. Plenty of glue so it doesn't move around. So that's the natural wood done. So on these, obviously they look flat, and the reason why I love this is you can bend them into whatever shape you want. So you just take a prong, bend it, twist it if you want a gnarly look, and you can just put it in any shape you want. I just do it randomly. You can see there, see how it's becoming a tree now. Like that. So it can either be a tree or a bush, depends how you want it. If I put that, say, around about here, that's going to be that, and I'm going to build this up around here and here and here. So I'm going to start that now. So I'm just putting in the last one now. Now as it stands, this would be good enough, I think. Whether anyone else thinks. I'm just cleaning up my glue. This would be good enough for a forest or woodland scene for winter. Obviously with the bare trees. Yeah, so you can see it taking shape now. I think the contrast between natural wood and the plastic painted is quite stunning, really. Just put it up there. This will bring part 4 to an end, I think. It's a good place to stop. Quite a lot done today on the diorama. Part 5, I'll be doing a little bit more on the diorama, putting the foliage on, possibly a little bit more weathering on the walker itself. I'll just see how it gets on. So if you have time, why don't you check out my other videos on the channel, subscribe or throw a like, leave a comment. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.